how concerned should the Election Commission be when it comes to the campaigning part of it? Because as of now, it's not Karnataka. We have seen how a lot of campaigns go on social media as well when it comes to the below the belt utterances that are being made by candidates on prominent leaders as well as their rival candidates. So how concerned is the CEC? Because though there are these advisories going, there seems to be no action on these matters.
The quality of any democracy depends upon the quality of political parties that operate in the system. Unfortunately, in the last few years, the quality of Indian political parties seems to be a big question mark. In fact, I have held the view that the weakest link in Indian democracy is the Indian political parties. Unfortunately, we don't have any law to regulate the functioning of these political parties. That is one of the reasons, I believe, is for the chaotic situation in which the campaigning takes place. The campaigning has got two aspects. One is the financial, the other one is the content or the substantive part of the campaigning. In both the areas, our political parties seem to be gradually deteriorating in its standards. The cash component or the expenditure component of campaigning is really causing concern. And also the text of the campaign, the literary or the words used in the campaigning seem to be becoming more and more causing concern. And as far as the election commission is concerned, naturally it should be really concerned about it because it will also lead to law and order situation, apart from affecting the quality of free and fair poll. So I personally feel the election commission should immediately jump into action. No point in just giving an advisory and keeping quiet. We have to take action. Some demonstrative action is absolutely necessary if the Indian political parties are made to account for the responsibility.
Professor Chambi Puranik, when we look at the way the EC has been handling, especially when it comes to Karnataka, there are several below the belt comments that have been coming in, even to the point of indirectly and directly trying to attack the candidate, communities, electorate, caste. I mean, every possible divisive thing in the book has been thrown at the person who's going ahead with the campaign. So how do you think that the EC has been able to, well, to some kind mitigate the situation, or rather has they been able to control the situation? Because as of now, they have given only advisory. Action is lacking. Your views on it, Chambi Puranik?
Yeah, thanks to your channel for taking up this subject, because it's very relevant for people of Karnataka who are distressed or very unhappy, deeply hurt by these hate speeches, in which the campaigners, even including star campaigners or ordinary campaigners, they are day in and day out, they are indulging in such kind of hate speech, which will promote only the communal hatred and the kind of attack on the culture and the peace-loving kind of excellent behavior or attitude of people of Karnataka throughout the year. And I don't think Karnataka people are to be blamed. We have to blame the political party leaders who have, I think, tried to polarize things on the basis of religion and caste and culture and other things also. I don't say they are racist in a broad sense, but they are saying that taking religion today, the focus in every election, whether it is Karnataka or outside North India. In North India, it is much more worse. And thanks to the former Election Commissioner Krishnamurthy ji, who has given us the kind of model code of conduct, how we should tackle both the cash, the role of money power, muscle power, and this kind of hate speech, kind of hatred that is spread across the people and all, disturbing the peace and harmony, for which the people of Karnataka are well known. And we have been living as good citizens. That is there, except in some constituencies where the kind of polarization is very, very severe in coastal Karnataka and in some parts of Malnad Karnataka, which we have discussed in your this thing. But I would say that most of the blame should go to the political parties and their leaders, even the Karyakartas. They are provoked to go for this kind of hate speech. And in social media, if you see, it is still worse. Who will control the
Right,
uncontrollable.
Professor Puranik, in fact, you raised a very, I want to get my colleague Pankaj Mishra into the discussion. Pankaj, social media is the place where it is much more degenerating when it comes to, character assassination of a candidate, character assassination of probably communities. Everything happens on social media. On WhatsApp, it is within the closed group, it's on open group. A lot of things happen on social media. It looks like the EC would probably have to bring in rules to govern that part as well, because most of the campaigning, of course, we have the physical campaigning that's happening, but most of the campaigning seems to be at targeted audiences through social media platforms.
Well, indeed, that aspect, Varghese, not exactly regulating the social media content, but stopping the proliferation of fake news is something that the Election Commission takes into consideration when the press conference is being done in order to announce the dates. The measures are listed there, and obviously warning signs are also made clear that any sort of fake news pertaining to the elections or the candidates would be detrimental and would be punishable also. As far as the character assassination of candidates is concerned, well, Varghese, is very difficult because it's a case of who done
I'm
it.
referring to a recent statement, Snake versus Vishakanya.
Yes, but that
it was as low as it can get.
Yes, definitely. I mean, but that was spoken in on a public platform. It was spoken openly, and it was not part of any social media slander that was initiated from that point of view. But yes, coming to the moot point where the Election Commission can be handy and how strong would this messaging be from the Election Commission that the political parties should remain within their limitations and be civil and not use derogatory words, below the belt statements. That is something we have been seeing for a longest period of time, but who follows it? Because political parties, irrespective of the name that you may think of in these elections, I don't think are bothered about the warnings or the conditions that they need to be civil. What happens is, with these statements, they just grab headlines for 1 or 2 days. It is published in the newspapers, it is discussed on TV debates, and it is taken to a different level in social media. But beyond that, nothing happens. And political parties also know that a particular commentary like Vishela Nag or Vish Kanya is not going to get them that kind of seats or expected results, because these things are just a part of the election campaign. They know it very well, and they just try to titillate, they just try to make headlines, grab headlines out of it. The main reason here is whether this deterrent from the Election Commission is going to stay with the political parties or not, or does Election Commission need to be far more stricter than what it is as of now?
Well, in fact, let me get in T.S. Krishnamurthy into it as well. We were discussing about various modes about this campaigning, especially on social media. I have two questions to you. The first question to you, sir, is this. When it comes to the Election Commission, people of India always remember T.N. Seshan and the kind of action that he has taken on the ground, and how the election commissioner was actually a person who was considered with great respect when it comes to the campaigning. And political parties, in fact, listen to election commissioners even on the level on the ground. But now that particular position seemed to have weakened. Is it because of a lack of action on the part of the institution? Though it has several powers in its hand, it is still reluctant to take that action.
No, well, I agree with you that Mr. T.N. Seshan played a very significant role, but you cannot certainly say that that kind of a control is not there. Unfortunately, the political parties have deteriorated themselves in their standards of campaigning.